Are you fucking kidding? What fucking idiot thought this was a good idea?
Hey. Y'all bet, yeah, I haven't been on live in a long time. I haven't streamed. Usually it's Todd or Chris doing the streaming here. So we were just sort of goofing around and chit-chatting here and thought we'd grab a bunch of us up and just do something. Maybe shoot the breeze for a little while. Let McMurray get on here and do an unboxing of a wonderful new toy he's got. Yeah, I apologize to all of you that are like me out there and prefer land warfare, but this one floats on water like a turd, so he's going to do an unboxing somewhere along the line here. But let's bring all the guys in. There they are.
I'm so happy as soon as I got back to the spot. Jeff's like, oh, we're going live. No time to set up. By the way, you're unboxing a game.
McMurray was taking the Browns to the Super Bowl.
I was.
Chris was regaling himself with rugby. Richard. And the wardrobe is sitting there. I'm not even sure what he's doing there. I think he's thinking of podcast stuff for his work job there. His thingamabob he does Monday to Friday.
Wardrobe's about to be a professional podcaster.
So
woohoo!
We're going to shoot the shit tonight, I think. You know, whether we acknowledge you guys out there or not,
cool
I'm sorry.
Wet stuff.
If we shoot the shit, that's going to blow McMurray's toilet out of the bathroom.
Well, unless he didn't flush and the shit's still there for us to shoot.
Good Lord. You people need Jesus. So this is
what do we got?
That's War at Sea, right? That's the one I've been playing a lot because it's super fun. It's pretty simple, super fun. The mechanics in it are pretty entertaining. Basically, in true, lineup battle format, you line up your ships physically on the board. And then you say, okay, this guy's shooting at this ship, shooting at this ship. And I didn't know how to find games that were like that, and then I stumbled across 9 Navies War. This and Pacific War or something from Avalon Hill maybe are allegedly the same basic idea mechanic as War at Sea from Avalon Hill, which is outstanding. So I ordered this. You can see I ordered it, still in the wrap. It's World War I naval combat. It's based on the same system as War at Sea, so I said, you know what, I'm gonna order that. I'm gonna play that. Didn't get too much into it, just there we go. So
what's the stuff on the back set? What's the stuff on the back set about complexity? And not you don't have to read the whole thing. Just complexity.
For Christ's sakes. 9 Navies War begins at the start of 1915. After victorious Germany has overrun France the year before. In parentheses, perhaps the BEF didn't land on time at all, or they got bottled up in Mons. The Germans kept to their full-blown, keep the right super strong and pull back on the left Schlieffen plan scheme, thereby bagging 2 French armies in the Rhineland, etc. Done with parentheses. Italy, seeing the German victory train leaving the station, joins the Central Powers. Heard that before. As do Spain and Greece. All of which make for a dreadnought showdown in the Mediterranean, Atlantic Ocean, and North Seas as the avidly Mahanist Kaiser Wilhelm seeks to finally defeat the Royal Navy and thus make Germany into a true global power with the battleships of Britain, Russia, and Free France, in quotes, versus those of Germany, Italy, Turkey, Austria, Hungary, and the captured portion of the divided French fleet. Each French ship is rolled for at the start of every game. Each can be scuttled, go to the British, or be captured by the Germans. There will also be the possibility of later U.S. entry when the Japanese switch sides and launch a dastardly surprise attack that finally draws in the Yanks. This is kind of awesome, kind of wild. And then it goes into various victory conditions and whatnot. Apparently there's 3 late-game British aircraft carriers that were actually under construction, but that's not the point. Apparently there's random events for ground war still going on in Russia, Middle East, and colonial Africa. Anyways, as well as it takes into account mines, internal explosions. Ouch, that hurts. Remember the main. As well as submarine, coastal artillery, and land-based aircraft. So same basic stats looks like. Reading the back of the thing. So you've got attack value, basically hull strength or number of hits it can take, and then movement, which movement is that's actually like a die roll you have to hit, not 5 spaces or anything. But uses a derivation of the classic Avalon Hill War at Sea. Awesome 2-player game with a short 3-turn 1915 scenario, which can be finished in about 1 sitting, as well as a 12-turn campaign game that will require about 8 hours of play. Hear that, Jeff? There's campaign
8
game.
hours? That's like a monster game for you.
Yeah, but he'll have it done in like 47 minutes.
Anyways, so it is made by Decision Games. Came out in 2007. I don't know if it's still in production. There's obviously enough of them floating around that I could find one still in the shrink wrap.
Where'd you get it from?
eBay.
Huh.
When I can, I usually like to find small game shops that sell on eBay, places that I've never heard of before, and I'll try and order from them. If there's not something on Geek Market.
What'd you pay for it?
That's awfully rude. How much does your mom weigh? Anyways, I think it was
less than when she was alive.
I think on Geek Market there was one for $36, and I think I paid $40 with shipping for this one. It was like $3 in shipping.
Wow.
That's not bad.
But whereas Geek Market would have been probably $50 after shipping, this one was like 44 or 43.
Looks like 29 plus 14.25 for shipping on Geek Market.
There you go.
So 44 and a quarter.
Yep.
43
Board
and a
Game
quarter.
Geek? As in Geek Market? Board Game Geek?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But as you can see, 2 players, 2 to 6 hours. Complexity is 2 out of 10 or 2 out of 5. Solitaire capability is 3 out of 5. Baby. All right, so let's crack this thing open and see what we got. You guys are on here. If anything bad happens, Google the number for
911 on ready to go.
What?
Avery, how you doing?
911. I've got 911 ready to go.
Oh,
What?
outstanding. Cool.
Yeah,
That's
he's
fine.
at 555 Socket Avenue. Yeah.
In any case, you might have to call 988 on me in a minute here. So, okay, there we go. The wrap is off.
So wait. Before you peel that box off there, what's okay? Since let's see how efficient we are. I'm not very good at this, so let me start the first guess. 9 navies, I'm sure, is going to be the US, the UK.
I read them off the back of the box like 2 or 3 minutes ago, Jeff.
I was ignoring you.
Jesus
Well,
Christ.
like he said, he's not very good at this.
That's fair. Okay, so the 9 navies are Britain, Russia, Free France, Germany, Italy, Turkey, Austria, Hungary, and then the captured French fleet, as well as possibility of the U.S. and the Japanese.
Austria, Hungary, where do they border any water?
The Adriatic, like the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, dog. That's what the Tegetthoff is. Anyways, that's what they've been fighting in the water for a while by this point in time. Real famous for winning the Battle of Lissa in 1866. So this is a solid 50 years after that, 48 years after that. That was one of the first, anyways, we're not getting into all that stuff. But, dude, the one thing I got to say, the box art is gorgeous.
Yeah,
I do like that. I do like that art. That's pretty cool.
Holy smokes. If I could order, like, a poster of this, I'm not sure it would. It certainly wouldn't supplant the Horatio Nelson that's over the hearth, over the mantle, but it would definitely go up somewhere. Okay.
It would definitely enhance the navalness of the room.
Accurate. It would definitely tie the room together a little bit. All right. So,
almost
cool.
like that carpet.
Holy dice. So we got 6 dice here. That's kind of cool.
Does it come with baggies?
Yeah. So it comes with baggies.
Wow.
I've had a couple of
Holy Nikes.
Hopefully at least 10.
I've had a couple of games that do this. I don't know if there are 10. It doesn't look like there are. It comes with 4 baggies plus this little fella and 6 dice. So 5 baggies.
That's cool.
A game response card. Oh, baby.
Send it in.
Unlike all the Avalon Hill games that I get, where I jokingly say I'm going to send it in, I might actually send this one in.
Yeah, because
Decision Games might actually be at that address still 15 years later. But all right, let's get into here. So we've got damage counters, as well as sunken disabled markers, just like War at Sea. They're formatted a little bit differently, but that's obviously what they are. So that's cool. I like how there's a whole bunch of sunken disabled markers. I sometimes run out of disabled markers when I get big fleet actions going in War at Sea. Because you guys know me, I enjoy big fleet actions sometimes. Holy marker sheets. Okay, no, there's only 2. Thank God. I felt the big stack and kind of got freaked out there. So looking at the back of the game, I was a little weirded out by the diagonal formatting, but it kind of lets the ship be a little bit bigger. You can see it pretty well. That's kind of cool. And the type is huge on them. So I might wind up with a crooked neck, but they're pretty simple here. So we've got Italians up here in orange, Austria-Hungary. We've got the Turks, Johnny Turk himself, Greeks. Let's see here. As well as these are very likely victory markers. Yeah, so they tell you who's holding what sea area. They've got the German Imperial Navy on one side and then the British White Ensign on the other. Victory point markers, more victory point stuff. I don't know what these are for, as well as these little, I would assume these are little control tokens based on what's all out on the map, but I haven't seen the map yet. This chunk is not in War at Sea. War at Sea is pretty simple. I really like War at Sea, though. So then we've got German in the dark gray, tons of German ships. Then these are French. These might be captured French. I don't know. That or all the French are in that lighter gray. I'm not sure. It looks like all the French are in that lighter gray, because now we got Spain right down here. The Ruskies in green. Oh, look at all the U.S., man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. All right, hold on. I got to look for Chris here. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, my gosh. Oh, there it is. There you go, Chris. Teos herself.
Nice.
The 530 beauty.
Nice.
So there we go. And then the Royal Navy, obviously, in red. I wonder where I thought they said the Japanese were possibly going to be in here. I wonder what color they are.
The yellow ones? Yellow or orange?
Orange is the Italians. Yellow is Austria-Hungary. These are the Greeks. These are the Turks. Germans, frogs. Russians. They got to be the Russians. Yeah, you got Imperial Nikolai, Gangut. These are the French.
Well, maybe your correct question will be answered when you get to the map.
That's fair.
What are the 2 little white ships?
These are Greek.
Okay.
Yeah, these 2 are Greek. They had a couple of dreadnoughts. All right. Anyways, let's look at. We got a rule book. Another really pretty piece of art on the rules, actually, on the front. That's a picture. I'm an idiot. I'm going to move the box out of the way for a hot second here. Got pretty normal stuff. There's a lengthy introduction. Jesus, that's kind of cool. So, game scale. Each ship counter represents 1 battleship, battlecruiser, or aircraft carrier. Each game turn represents about 4 months of active operations, and the map's been drawn at a scale of roughly 1 inch to 125 miles. All right, no fog of war. That's fair. That's not surprising. There's no stacking limits. Again, it's kind of an area control game, so it's not super surprising. Let's see. Game map, we got all that. Counters. Obviously, sample counters. So, here we go. Well, this doesn't have the Japanese listed. I guess the Japanese are assumed to remain in the Pacific. That makes sense, given that when they had the 3rd largest navy in the world, they didn't make it out of the Pacific. Anyways, okay. So you got an attack factor, defense factor, and speed, like I was saying. There we go. As well as apparently this little guy up in the top is their reinforcement status. So that's when the turn they come in. That's always really handy to have it printed on the marker or on the counter. Against 5 Aprils does that. That's always super convenient because inevitably when you make piles of stuff, like on War at Sea, the reinforcements are at the bottom of the map board, and I always wind up knocking them, and then I got to recheck. So yeah, we got a bunch of background stuff that's kind of handy. Coming right in, here's your rules for how the frogs you got to roll for if they're captured or not. Base activation chits. That's kind of cool. That's a departure from War at Sea. And War at Sea, the Allies deploy, and then the Germans and Italians deploy. So I guess if there's like a chit draw thing for who goes when, which I haven't read all the way, it might not be how it works, but that seems like what they're getting at. That would be a cool way to kind of mix that up. Also, I have this giant MMP coffee mug that I can use to chit draw from.
Wayne, good evening, brother. Good to see you over here.
What's up, guys? Type A if you like naval games. Everybody type A.
Hey, Richard Champion's on. What's up?
Hey, what's up, Rich? Bunch of random stuff about land events that I think those are probably what we were reading about earlier on the back of the box, land events and how those mess with stuff. How to win, we'll look at that maybe a little bit later. That could be pretty entertaining. It looks like the Russians do have restrictions on their ships leaving port, which is kind of cool. It's an interesting way to abstract having not just warm water ports. They have the same thing going in War at Sea. And we've got optional rules. That's kind of cool. Turn sequence makes sense. That's funny. Optional rules, room 40. Let's see. Reinforcements, more miscellaneous ship losses and random events, which makes sense. All kinds of stuff. The rules are in a little bit different a format than what I'm used to. But that's okay. There's also like 15 pages in this little booklet. You proud of me, Jeff?
Extreme. How many pages was it again?
There's 16 total pages in the book.
And you'll probably read the first two and play it off of that, right?
No, because I can't do that, given how it looks. I don't know how I'm actually going to accomplish this. We'll figure it out. But first, we're going to get to the map. This map feels really like larger than a normal size map, actually, which could really bite me in the rear end here, as I don't exactly have a huge amount of space clear on the table because War at Sea isn't a very big game board. So we're going to move the other stuff a little further off to the side here. Again, that is just a startlingly pretty box cover. This is America, so I'd assume it's going to that side of the map. America. That's right. Holy smoly, this is a large map. I'm going to need to move some stuff. We'll probably
see why there's no Japanese Navy in this one.
Jeff will probably figure out a way to add. I'll try and take a picture, and if Jeff can add that to the end of the video, that would be super awesome. Yeah, Chris, I think you are the only one whose audio is delayed. Then again, I'm the only one really talking, so that's awkward. But like I said, hang tight, guys. Oh God, I printed out, 3D printed all the ships required for War at Sea to try and play that a little differently. And now I'm having to be very, very careful that I don't knock over a ton of very absurdly small 3D printed boats, which Jeff is probably making fun of me for right now, but that's okay. Okay. Let's get this spread out. That's a big map. That's a big
Brian.
Map. What?
Everybody say hi, Brian.
Hi, Brian.
Hi, Brian.
Brian's being a little weasel.
You know, Brian, you can always join the stream.
No, he can't.
He
He's
just
playing with his grandson's toys.
Well, he's also
he's got
to have a heart attack.
He's got a new grandbaby.
Well, I get that, but that kid needs to sleep.
No, he's playing with his grandson's toys. I didn't say anything about his grandson being there.
Yeah.
Brian, you should join because we're going to do an unboxing of Mid-War Sicily here next.
Oh, snap.
Not only that, yeah, that's my point, is that Brian might not, his cardiologist might not like him being a part of this. Okay, so there's the map. The map is sizable. You've got, obviously, America. Looks like we've got all kinds of stuff. Allied colonies in Africa, Algiers. We got crown colonies, it looks like, in East Africa as well as West Africa, but we don't have Tanganyika. Where's the German sausage factory in Tanganyika? But anyways, this looks like it's going to be a little more complicated, but still looks pretty fun. Looks relatively similar to, or I'm sorry, these are Central Powers. Okay, that makes more sense. So Central Powers, colonies in West Africa and East Africa, that makes more sense. That also would explain why these are all green. I'm a dum-dum. There's actually a map key right here that'll explain all that if I was able to read. But like I said, some of this stuff looks really familiar for those of you who might have played Atlantic War. You've got victory points for the Allies and the Central Powers. And then in each of the ports, you've got a repair value, right? Oh, there's a big old minefield, so that's kind of entertaining that that's actually on the board. One notable thing that's kind of odd or a little different, in War at Sea, Germany and Norway are the same. Then again, that jumps in right at like the invasion of Norway during World War II. But let's see here. We got more minefields down here through the Dardanelles, or from the Dardanelles to, what's that, the Bosporus, or vice versa. No, the Dardanelles are, yeah, anyways, you get the point. In the Sea of Marmara. Don't let Churchill down there. But, so anyways, this looks like it could be pretty entertaining. I'm not sure what what everything means. Like I said, there's some stuff that's a little bit different than the War at Sea map, but it looks similar enough that I feel like I've got a half decent grasp of what at least the map is trying to tell me.
Well, you said War at Sea. Okay, this one here you just said had land-based aircraft. War at Sea didn't have that, did it?
War at Sea does have land-based aircraft. I think in here it's abstracted into miscellaneous random losses. In War at Sea, there are land-based aircraft markers that the Allies get and the Axis get that they can then send to attack various either ports or fleets. So, yeah, so there you've got random events, which include miscellaneous ship losses and stuff like that, as well as the French Navy disposition, which is pretty entertaining. So you've got either captured by the Germans, undamaged, damaged but still captured by the Germans, gets to Algiers, damaged but gets to Algiers, or is sunk. So, that might make it pretty hard for the Frogos to do much. We'll have to see how that plays out. I think I might play that 3-turn 1915 scenario first, and then attack the campaign game, boys. I really need to be preparing a game for a convention next weekend, and I feel like I'm going to be playing this.
What's the first off, what's the turn length in this thing, and then how many turns is the campaign?
Turn length is approximately 4 months, and it's a 12-turn campaign game.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's everybody getting games in here today. McMurray's got one. I think Todd was looking at one. Najee, you just got Salerno 43. I hadn't purchased anything in a while. I've got some pre-orders down. And it's funny how things work because I dropped 4 pre-orders in the last freaking week and a half.
Yeah, but in the next week or so, you're going to be getting a veritable truckload of stuff.
Yeah. Those y'all didn't see it. We had Nache on his channel the other night, which, by the way, if you're not subscribed, get over there to Nache's Tabletop Gaming, or what do we call it? Nache's Chronicles? The Chronicles of Nache?
The channel is Not Jay's Tabletop Gaming.
There you go. Get over there and subscribe to that. Nache does a little bit of mini stuff, painting stuff, Star Wars stuff, tabletop gaming stuff. He's breaking out into the hex market now, but he had David Heath and the boys on from Lock and Load the other night, and they were generous enough to send us, what we price it out at? $500 and some dollars?
My haul was like $514 and some odd cents before shipping.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that was real generous to David. He sent out 2 at Impact, one to Najee and one to me. So I can't wait to see that. I need to do my end of this thing. I need to go buy Storming the Gap to
yeah, you do.
That set right there.
And remember, this coming Monday at 11 a.m. Mountain Time, U.S., their Game Found crowdfunding goes live for Volume 2 of
World War 85.
World at War 85, Blood and Fury.
Get a link and pop it in the chat there, Najee.
Yeah, I'll get it here. Hold on.
So
And that's British Army of the Rhine, right?
Yes, and some West Germans against mostly Soviets.
all right, so let's all right, so not Jay McMurray here. If it's naval from almost any era, these two are like encyclopedias of the stuff, and they wear any kind of tabletop gaming they can get, whether it's naval ships in the water, land ships on ground, or airships in the air. They're going to play the day. In fact, they had Todd in there playing a couple of airship games over the last few months. I think you played it twice with him, haven't you, Todd?
Yep.
The Victorian airship thingy.
Yep.
So those went real well. But these two guys here, if you can't find an answer to a naval question, these two guys can probably answer it for you. So, but I'm much
or I know where to get the answer.
I'm not Navy. You give me battleships throwing rounds at the beaches on D-Day, and I'm good with that. But if
Jeff's
it's
afraid of water,
well, to give you an example, I'm playing Army Group North here, and it's got battleships and destroyers in it, and I've got them sitting out at sea just looking at each other. I don't know what to do with them. So, does anybody else do that when they're playing games? When they're playing ground warfare games that have naval involved, do you just kind of leave the Navy sitting out there floating around doing nothing because you don't know what to do with it? Because I sure do. Now, you guys are playing Salerno, both of you, and doesn't that have a naval beach fire in there?
Yes,
I mean, like it's just 2 hexes into the land. I mean, that's all.
Is it abstracted in that game, or are there actual ship counters?
Oh no, there's just 2 ship count. One for American, one for Commonwealth. You flip it one turn. You get to use it one turn, or once in your turn, and maybe flip it over to use it in your defense, and that's it. So, yeah, it's super abstracted, as is the air. In Salerno. In Normandy, I believe you have a few more.
Okay.
Yeah, Normandy, you actually have USS Texas, USS Naval, USS Warspite, and HMS Warspite and HMS Ramillies.
I can't believe
you're
you
not
just
really
said
moving
USS Warspite.
Yeah, well,
you're not really moving them around though.
Well,
you're just basically just flipping them around just like that. It's more used in Day of Days, Jeff. I mean, there you're moving around.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say, because there's like 30 some ships in Day of Days, and then that Avalanche game I played, Rich, that you sent me, as a matter of fact, that game has like a butt ton of ships in it that you stack all on top of each other and everything else. All right, good. No, what were you doing there, McMurray? I just saw something there a minute. Bring that shit back over here and talk about it.
This?
Oh, you did that. Okay, good. We saw that. Will they be used?
Yeah.
Okay, but you had something else you pulled over there a minute ago. Let's see that.
This?
No, I don't see your chit pile. You had look like a bunch of minis on a cardboard.
Yeah, these are, like I said, these are all the ships in War at Sea other than USS Tuscaloosa, Augusta, and Wichita, which I still need to print. I'm going to mount them on these 2-inch by 3/4-inch bases with then labels on each side, such that I can play War at Sea with miniatures on a giant board that I intend to make that will be the War at Sea like playing surface, that mounted map board, but the full size of one of these sheets of plexi. So the normal War at Sea playing board, let me get these out of the way because they're all just sitting on their respective names. The normal War at Sea playing board, I guess it's a good idea to we can take this out because it's topical to the unboxing here. The board A sits in the box obnoxiously tightly, but it's it's this thing folded in half, right? So it's not a big board.
Right.
Let me get it under the leg of this thing. So again, you can see where you still have the C tiles, like I was saying, the values for each of the victory points, and then the territories with the repair value and all that. But so I intend to make this game board significantly larger, and then instead of moving the markers around, I'll have the ships
Right.
to move.
Because you have a problem.
I do have a problem, and that problem in this case has manifested itself as about 65 3D printed 1/6000 scale miniatures that
Are friggin' beautiful.
that are beautiful, but that I'm probably a week or two out of having all painted up and on their respective bases and labeled. So look forward to that in the week following Battles and Brews. So the week after this, because
Yeah, we're gonna go to
and
that
then
too.
this map not only will be larger, but then it'll also be 3D, not massively 3D, but the landforms will be raised. Again, just to add a little bit extra to it. You know what I mean?
Right. Who the new one you just picked up?
Yes.
Who was the designer of that one?
Ty Bomba.
Ty Bomba. Really? Did a naval game?
I've never heard of Ty Bomba, but
Ty's big to do.
Ty Bomba is the designer
of. I thought Ty Bombas were those Star Wars ships with the two holes.
Yeah, with the curved wings.
Yeah.
Ty Bomba has his name on many games.
Yep, he's right up in the corner here. Hang on. Designed by Ty Bomba.
All right, who did the AH one, the War at Sea?
Oh, Jesus. I don't actually know if that's...
War at Sea.
The sequel, Victory in the Pacific, was also very good. More meaty, quite fun. You talking about VIGP from Victory Games, Steve?
I don't know who designed... here's
John Edwards.
John Edwards? Okay. See, It's not necessarily just labeled on here.
Chuck,
but,
good evening.
And I'm going to be honest, War at Sea has got the best box cover art ever.
Oh, dude, it's outstanding.
Yeah.
Hang on a second. There's the War at Sea box art.
Yeah. You know why it's the most outstanding ever?
What's that, Chris?
That's USS Texas, baby.
Yes, it is. Is it New York?
No, this one is Texas.
Right there. There it is.
BB-35.
There it is. 3.5, baby. There you go.
What's the Victory Games one?
What do you mean the Victory Games?
There's the Victory Games. Okay, so all right. So the one they just did, the War in the Pacific, the one that just came out, that was GMT, right?
Yeah, Pacific War.
Pacific War, and isn't that the bump from the Victory Games one?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so Steve, you're saying there's another. So Victory in the Pacific was from Avalon Hill. So McMurray, there's one for you to go look for. Okay.
Yes, that's another one that I was looking at. I just need to, like I said, I need to get this figured out before I break into a whole nother game. But yes, that is on the radar. Thank you, Steve.
Hold on.
Now Wayne said it.
Oh, Wayne said it. Sorry.
I've heard about Ty Bomba. So.
So many counters, baby. Look at all these things. These are awesome. Where should I start? I'm going to start with I'm going to save the Royal Navy and the U.S. for last because those are the ones I'm going to get real excited about. And now you guys get to watch Jeffy make fun of how I punch count or how I clip counters.
Oh, you starting already? While you're doing, I'm gonna flip over. Nache, I'm gonna flip over to you. Which one of y'all's handling the brews and whatever thing?
We could both talk about battles and brews.
Let's get back to let me throw Nache up on here.
Unless Chris already has his shirt or Nache already has his shirt.
No, I do not.
Nache, give us a brief. If you got to flip your monitor to a web page, do it.
So let me bring that up here. By the way, I posted the link for the crowdfunding, but it didn't pop in for whatever. I don't know if you have to approve it or what.
When you're live, they don't actual links don't usually go well in the chat. Usually you have to copy paste them. They won't copy in as links. I've noticed that.
Speaking of video comments later, then
Jeff would have to put it in there.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
So, what Battles and Brews is, it's a fundraising event, gaming event for March to Victory 2023. And let me see if I can share this. Share screen.
March to Victory 2023 is the second annual March to Victory, which was the first one being a raging success in March
Yes.
of 2022 in the Kansas City area, exceeding, I think, basically everyone's expectations.
Oh, absolutely, yes. So, if you want to, I got the March to Victory webpage up.
Mhm.
I want to share that. And just for everybody's edification, the link that Jeff just linked in there is for the Blood and Fury crowdfunding campaign that goes live 11 a.m. Central Daylight Time in the U.S. It's a great game if you don't know anything about World at War 85. It's platoon level. Each counter is a platoon. It's a great game. I love it immensely. I'm going to have more of it on my channel here shortly. So, but March of Victory is the newest gaming convention in Kansas City area. Last year, last weekend of March 2022 was a rousing success. We had well over 100 attendees, which to me was quite nice. I was going to feel good if we had 75, and we had well over 100. So what Battles and Brews is it's a gaming event this coming weekend that is going to be held in the event area of a local brew pub in Independence, Missouri.
Which is named what?
Three Trails Brewing Company.
Three Trails Brewing.
Yeah,
Kansas
because
City, Missouri.
you got three trails. You got the Oregon, the California, and the Santa Fe Trail all leaving from Independence, Missouri during the 1800s. That's why it's called Three Trails Brewing. A little bit of history there, folks. What's great about it is you get in for $15, and we got 8 tables of gaming. We got 5 gaming sessions, free snacks. I mean, we're going to have little snack-sized candy bars. We're going to have bags of chips. Going to have water. Upstairs is a full brew pub with burgers. It's going to be a blast. So $15 gets you in, and then starting at 5 p.m. Friday afternoon until 11:30 p.m. that night. And then Saturday, we're starting up at noon, going till 10. And all kinds of games. It is being hosted by Jay Wiley of Wiley Games, so there's going to be Wiley Games galore. But he specifically stated he does not want just Fistful of Lead there. So we've got not only Fistful of Lead, but we're going to have at least one game of Force on Force that I'm running. I'm also going to be having my World War II Naval Combat game, Ocean Thunder. There's going to be all kinds of different games there as well. Where is it? There's a Bird Down in the City. That's a game scenario based around Black Hawk Down. I don't know the game system, but it's not going to be Fistful of Lead.
Gerbils are fading.
So, what's that?
I say your gerbils were dying.
What'd you say?
Your gerbils were dying.
Oh, well, yeah. That's what happens when you live in the sticks, boys. But yeah, it's gonna be a blast. All the money that's raised. Oh, if you can't make it to Kansas City, you can purchase a raffle ticket.
You can purchase a buttload of raffle tickets.
Oh yeah, you could.
McMurray, check Chuck's question there. That was for you.
What is it?
check the question Chuck posted there.
They have to do.
I
They
do
know
not.
about the
I'm gonna have
War
to look that up,
C2
Chuck.
variant.
I do not know about a war.
I want to
So-
say when you did this unboxing for the original one a long time, even PB, that Chuck was talking about that, like maybe there were some other counters or something like
He was
that.
talking about it for Blitzkrieg. I don't think I ever did an unboxing of War at Sea itself, actually.
Oh, Blitzkrieg. Okay, yeah, you're right. You're
Yeah,
right.
we were talking about it with Blitzkrieg. I have noticed that there are counters for sale from Camelot Games for War at Sea, but I didn't know if they were replacements or extras. It's Camelot that makes all the extra counters, right? That's the company.
Yeah,
Say that again.
yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Camelot.
Yeah, I noticed that they had counters for sale, but I thought I just saw replacement ones.
So if you buy raffle tickets, $3, and what they're going to be pulling for is Wiley Games logo coasters, tape measures with the Wiley logo on it, dice trays that y'all, anybody that has been on my channel has seen me have, cards, like, Fistful of Blood cards, rules, bundle where you get the rules and the cards. The grand prize is going to be the Battlesuit Alpha bundle, Battlesuit Alpha book, cards, and two retinues of mechs that Jay Wiley has painted up with the cards to be able to play Battlesuit Alpha. So
That's pretty. That's pretty wild.
And he will ship he's going to ship anywhere in the world.
Yeah, he shipped me a tape measure after the Star Wars, or after May the 4th.
Yeah,
with the raffle tickets I got.
So here's here's one of the cards. Here's one of the. Let's see. There we go. Here's one of the mechs that you could win. Here's the card that goes with that mech. So yeah, it's and the money that's being used, or the money that it's being gathered,
it's being
raised. There's the word. Thank you. The money that's being raised this weekend is going towards the venue cost, so we don't have to worry about how much it's going to cost, because we've already raised that money. So we're wanting to make March to Victory the preeminent gamer experience in the Kansas City area.
Well,
and we're well on our way.
The first to do was pretty good, I hear.
Yes. Yeah. Well, we had such a good time that we actually convinced Warmutt to come to Kansas City in March 2023. So
Jeff's
now we
going to
just
come
need
out too, so they can play golf together.
Yeah.
Which I will be playing in the morning.
So
Hey, I
that's
meant to ask you, who won the I'm sure I know and I've just forgotten. Who won the 200 subs raffle or deal?
We haven't had it yet.
Oh, you haven't done the drawing yet?
No, because I only have 3 people that have responded to that video with their shirt size and what nations that they want. So anybody that is not currently a subscriber to my channel, not Jay's Tabletop Gaming, over on YouTube, head on over there, subscribe, find the video that I did.
I think it's called We Made It.
Ago. We Made It. Yep, that's the one. Watch it and put in the comments what t-shirt size you want and what 2 naval factions you want. And what I'm giving away is a Chronicles of Not J t-shirt and 2 task force.
Do you want me to
for lack of
grab
a better term.
my stuff, or do you have ships handy?
Oh, I've got some ships handy here.
Okay.
So I've got right here. I've got USS Texas in 1/6000 scale. What I'm going to be doing is what's that?
You're going to send a task force?
Yeah,
it's going to be 10 ships each. 10 ships of
dude.
one
Painted?
of 2 nations.
Todd's about to go over there and comment with his shirt size.
Yeah. So
Extra-
like here's the
extra
USS
small.
Missouri. Oh, so you can look swole,
No, he's going to cut
Yeah.
the midriff out of it and make a belly shirt.
right? So here's the USS Missouri, and
Nice.
these are 1/6000 scale ships that McMurray and I have found that print up pretty fast on our 3D resin printers. And what I will do is I will print up 2 battleships, 2 heavy cruisers, 2 light cruisers, and 4 destroyers of 2 different nations. I'm also going to send you. I will also send you a copy. If you win, I'll send you a copy of my beta rules for Ocean Thunder, which is my World War II naval combat game, and the ship sheets to go with the miniatures I'm sending. So it's a pretty good deal. I'm hoping to
It's
get more
free.
than just 3 people to pipe in.
To enter. All right. Well, I don't have a
So-
shirt yet, so I guess I'm entering.
You better.
Come
The
on,
shirt's
people.
cool.
I
shirt's cool.
don't give anything away on my channel. Go to this guy's channel and subscribe and go comment. He gives stuff away. I'm a
So
screwed.
here's the biggie. Here's the biggie. So
Screw you guys.
we're on the road to 300 now. I know, Paul, and I appreciate
Whoa, and
that.
Paulie's here?
Yeah, he says I'm saving you on postage. Yeah,
Bullshit,
actually, Paul, I
already
look.
commented saying whatever shirt size Paul wears, and then Royal Australian Navy and the Dutch. So
Do they make a 6-pack version of that T-shirt? Because if they don't, Paul can't get one because
Right.
that mug's being the bronze and
He's
everything.
ripped.
He's ripped. Yeah.
So, but we're on
love it.
the way to 300, and Hexy actually said, if we get it by Christmas, we'll do a giveaway, and that's going to be Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi.
oh yeah,
From,
there's a McMurray surprise
this
mixed
scale
in
here.
with your T-shirt and stuff too.
Oh yeah,
I forgot
I'm
about
not sure
that,
what
'cause
it is, but you know what? Hey, it's a surprise.
yeah, it'll be entertaining, whatever it is.
So, but the big one is if we hit 300 by Halloween, October 31st, I'm going to give away a T-shirt, of course, but 2 retinues, 1 Rebel, 1 Empire, that I've printed up and painted, along with the cards needed to play Fistful of Lead Galactic Heroes Star Wars, and the PDF for Galactic Heroes 2nd Edition. If I hit 300 by October 31st, that's happening. So
I'll send you a Darth Vader painted like a jack-o'-lantern too,
there you go. So
because weird shit is my forte.
exactly. So it's a little bit of self-promotion here on Hexy's channel, but we talk about Hexy's channel on my channel too. So it's
Fine. Get after
and
it.
we talk about Wardrobe's channel, and we talk about War Mutt's channel. We're kind of our own little.
Speaking of which, everybody put a
Thing.
little clap hands in the box down there for chat because Wardrobe is a granddaddy again. I mean,
Yeah.
Warbutt's a granddaddy again.
Yes.
For the second time.
All right, so
And-
since this
and
is a
that kid-
hex
that
to hex
kid-
game, and
big
you all know
kid.
that I am a hex to hex gamer, I'm gonna flip the screen over here to Mr. Wardrobe, and he's gonna tell us about what he's got going on in Salerno there.
Yeah. What turn are you in? Because I haven't gotten past turn 1.
Wardrobe is just excited for Friday.
Yeah. So, what's Friday?
Friday's the day I was going to say hi to you at work Friday,
Oh,
and
okay.
definitely not stuff you into a car and immediately take off to Kansas City.
It's gonna be tough to do.
What?
It's gonna be tough to do. I'll be in another city. All right.
Is it
So,
a challenge?
yep. All right.
What
So
city?
Salerno 43. I'm still in the first turn. I've just played the Germans. The Germans have a little counterattack. You're on the beach. Couldn't take the airfield. Like the Zokbon system from Semenich and GMT. This is a very, if you want to, this is a pretty good entry level one because it's just a little square map and the counters are there's not that many counters, but it is a little challenging because it is Italy, lots of mountains. So I probably wouldn't suggest this. It's nice because it's inexpensive, but it's also kind of restrictive. So I'm not sure I would recommend this one for your first Semenich game, but
It's a shit ton better than Normandy 44. I'll tell you that.
okay. Well, I mean, it's a lot simpler. There's a lot less going on for sure. So, but the cool thing is with all the Semenich, it's just like any game system, like OCS. Each front's going to play differently. So you got Normandy, France 40, Normandy 44, Ukraine 43, Stalingrad 42, and Ardennes 44. I mean, they all and Holland 44. They all play very different, but they use the same basic rules. So I really like them. I like this is one of the new printings, so all the counters are that matte finish. The player aid is kind of a matte finish. It's really nice. I like the new GMT counters. Makes me maybe want to get the new any new ones they reprint like 44 or France 40. But because that's what I need. I need to buy 2 copies of France. Have 2 copies of France 40. So. Anyway, just set this up, just getting going. I'm just going to do like I normally do when I play these games the first time. I'm not a real man, so I just play the small turn scenarios. I'll play up to turn 8 for Avalanche. So
Right now, the uniqueness of the Semenich system is this Zokbon stuff.
Yep.
Let's bump on that a little bit.
So over here, which you can't see, and I guess I can try to get dizzy. Everybody, get ready. Whoa. Sorry about the blurriness. So right now, these guys have a zone of control bond. So there's a zone of control for these guys, and this is the zone of control for these guys. But right here, this hex here is a bond. So this guy cannot cross over here. The only way he could cross over this is if there was a unit in here. He could attack across it and then advance across. Or the thing to do is to defeat this guy or push him back, and then you've opened up that thing. These guys have a hex. Now, with the mountains, there's some weird stuff. The mountain hex sides, of course. In some of the Semenich games, this would be a hex side bond here with the ocean, but in this game, it does not. I find that interesting. I don't know if it's just because, like these guys didn't have the beaches covered well, or just to prevent it so that, there's just no way for these guys to escape. So in this case, there is not a bond there. Now, this guy was already here. Gosh, that's really blurry. I apologize for that. This was blur. This was already here, and then these guys moved in here. So there is no zone of control bond here. And I don't remember. I think when you move into a zone of control, you have to stop, and you may pay extra to move out. I'm going to have to kind of look at that. I don't have that. Each game does things a little differently, which is kind of nice. I mean, it makes it a little hard to play each game, because you have to learn little things different, but it's also nice because then they're not exactly the same. It's not too repetitive. So anyway, I like the Semenich system. It's a nice way to get a strategic or a view of a battle without too much, depth. Like supplies real easy. It's just pretty much a line. Again, that varies by game as well. So, and like I said, air and yeah.
So he's got, we know everybody's been talking North Africa 41's coming. Chuck's saying no Zok bonds, which, yeah, you're right, in the desert makes sense. But he's also got the expansion for Stalingrad. Steve-O, you were talking about, what'd you say up there? You said he's got 2 future expansions, I believe. Any idea what it is?
Yeah, what's the second one? The first one is Operation, is it
Saturn, whatever the relief of Stalingrad, right?
Uranus.
Neptune, Uranus.
Pluto.
Yeah, we'll
Mickey
wait for
Mouse.
someone smarter than us. But I didn't know there was a second one coming out.
All right, let's see.
Uranus is the encirclement. I'm like 99% sure.
All
My
right.
copy of Stalingrad Pocket 2 is sitting 10 feet away from me, and I'm not going to grab it. Sorry,
Yep.
guys.
There's that.
All
There's that thing. Yeah, I don't know what Simonich games are coming out after that. They're going to do at least one or two more of Italy so that you can
Winter
expand
Storm.
this game.
Winter Storm.
So that should be leading up to Stalingrad, right? / around it.
Okay, that's what's
Not
coming out
necessarily,
now.
but still.
To cover all of Italy. Okay, all right. Oh, Salerno 43. Okay, that's what. That's right. Expansions for Salerno. Because Todd, weren't we talking about the other night about they were going up the whole peninsula or something like that? Isn't there a Sicily one in the
Not
works
yet.
too?
I don't know about that.
I've heard somebody talk about a Sicily
No.
one.
Last time we were chatting, I said I won a Sicily one. I don't think there's one.
Okay. Well, as for me, let me switch my microphone here so that I'm on the.
Yeah, there you go. Modeling Kaiser's got it. Uranus.
Okay.
How's that? Can y'all hear me still okay?
Yeah.
All right. So I've been dabbling around with Army Group North, and I am playing the campaign. And I'm sorry, you're not going to be able to see the whole map, but
Yeah, it's because it's absurd, folks.
yeah. And let me put my hand in here, which I'm not going to see it because my screen's next
It's
to it.
it's Garjai
So
Hugic.
there's my hand, and I'm going to move away. Stalingrad is like way up yonder. So I'm on a 5 foot by 6 foot table, and only one little corner is open enough to put some play sheets, some player aids down. But I started down in here along the border here where the Germans break out, and I have advanced. I've taken Riga. We took Kaunas, but we took Kaunas because I decided to let the Soviets drop out and try to set up a sort of a delaying defense on the Dvina. And as you can see, the Germans are already across, and they're moving down the road on the north side of the Dvina. And a little struggle over here near Riga, and there's no way I'm going to get Russian troops down here, which I'm trying to. Just up here, there's some headed south. I've even pulled troops out of Leningrad to start to build up the Skov line, which I don't think you'll see that either, actually. And I'll mess up my camera going. They have the Skov line, Lake Pipus or whatever, sitting like right over this way. And there's a line that goes north and south with some marshes and woods and a river that I'm trying to defend on. And then you got the little area up to the north, which I'll plug some troops in there. But this one's like 47 turns. If I get that far, if I even get to Leningrad, that'll be impressive. Unlike Uncle Eric did. I may not get there myself. All right, I'm waiting for McMurray to comment.
It's okay. We all know Ricky Man was the best.
So
Ricky
anyway,
Man's the best.
this is Army Group North. Now this is the old one that I'm playing. The new one obviously is I guess it's getting printed, but it'll be a while before it gets out. And they also dropped the new reprint of Army Group South. So if you're into the East Front system, which I'm gonna tell y'all right now, for the World War II operational, EFS is still my favorite thing. OCS is right there behind it, but EFS is definitely my game of choice when it comes to that. And like I said, now they've got South on there. We don't know where else they're going to go with that. I've heard rumors of them doing stretching this thing out to Stalingrad. And of course, there's you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 games in the series. In the new reprint of South, and I don't know yet, but I don't think you can play this with the new rules. If I remember somebody talking, but there's some changes in the terrain and movement or something that don't go well with the original. So, but old Rich here, he was kind enough to send me the 2 that I didn't have, which were North and Center. And then, of course, I have Center, the reprint, which I have not peeled the plastic on that yet. And I imagine North will be the next one. And then South is in there now. So if you like this system and you haven't grabbed pre-ordered the new Army Group South one, get over to GMT and get on that one too. So, but that's what I got going on. Also, I just got a notification today that Tom Fernbacker, who is part of the team that does the Great Battles of the American Civil War stuff, the old Richard Berg. They're the design team now for that with Dick Whitaker and Bill Byrne. They have moved the test play, I believe we're going to do, for the Battle of Wilderness game coming out for GBACW in the third weekend of September, and they moved it up here to Winchester, so that's not even 45 minutes from me. So I won't have to rent a hotel. I'll be able to drive down there and spend my day down there playing that game. And I'm so pumped up because nobody's ever done a large-scale Battle of the Wilderness. And come think of it, I can't think of only one for Chancellorsville, which I happen to have now. So, but I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, that's what Hexy's got going on. Anybody else got anything that's we're missing out on?
Are we into the general question period here?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Well, hold on, real quick. Jeff, did you talk about GCACW that you pre-ordered?
Oh, yeah. For those of you that are into the great campaigns of the American Civil War, the final one is now in pre-order, and that's On to Richmond 2. And those of you that do dabble in that, you know how much it costs to try to find, if you could find, a used copy of the original On to Richmond. That thing was selling for anywhere from $200 to $500. Well, On to Richmond 2 is now in pre-order. I think it's
It's 174 with shipping in U.S.
Yeah, and that comes with 2 games in the box. It has Grant Takes Command in it, along with On to Richmond.
Oh,
and
another one.
Yeah, there's some. You said there was 2 other campaigns or something, right?
Would it be Peninsula or Pensacola? I don't know.
Probably is it McClellan on the Peninsula?
It has to be, because that would be the only maps that would cover it.
Yeah. So Jeff, so this would be the last kind of reprinting of all the old Avalon Hills and additions to the thing, so they're done now with the system?
Yeah, I don't think there's nothing else. Good call. Airman Spots of Angels, another game I haven't seen a big.
Are they going to reprint some of those others that are out?
I think they're all done.
Well, I mean reprint, like the other ones that they've redone, like that have gone out of, like the second editions or whatever. Are they going to some of those are out of print, right?
Well, yeah. Well, almost all of those are. Almost all GCACW stuff's out of print already. I mean, it doesn't last long. So they took all the original Avalon Hill ones, and now with Grant Takes Command and On to Richmond, they've redone them in their 2 version, and then they added the 2. Well, they not recently, but the 2 Western or the Trans-Mississippi Theater ones, which was Hood Strikes North and A Battle Above the Clouds. And what was it? There was a third one I got. It was like pulling teeth to get. Oh, and Atlanta Is Ours. So Battle Above the Clouds was another one of those ones that was extremely hard to get, that I happened to get my hands on that one. Yeah, I think, I think the On to Richmond one's going to be really. Those games are so fun to play. I don't know why I don't play more of those. Steve, you're right about Line of Battle, and I haven't even touched it yet. I haven't even gotten to Line of Battle yet. GBACW is my thing for the Civil War currently. And granted, I have not played Line of Battle. I played Civil War Brigade Series, which I love that stuff because I love the rules in it. And as far as EFS goes, yeah, if you can get one, Steve, it's the system's really, really good. And I hear a lot of people say good stuff about the No Retreat. There's a guy over in Poland. Matter of fact, I need to text him because he hasn't put nothing out, but he covers a lot of that stuff. And he was playing No Retreat. I think it was the from Barbarossa start, but he was in the military. And I'm not sure if he's been deployed or not. Canadians in the house.
Yeah. What's up, Brian?
Yeah. Above the Clouds I paid a pretty penny for that. Hell, I got lucky and only paid $300 for Last Chance for Victory.
Jesus, Mary and Jopus. So, Jeff.
Yes, sir.
Question for you. Who would win in a period neutral engagement at, let's say, an Army level? Ricky Mann or your boy Bobby Lee?
Oh, man, don't you put me in that corner.
I'm putting you in that corner. I'm putting you in that corner.
Oh, my God, that is a tough one, man.
I'm putting you in that corner. That corner has been
in that
built
corner, Ricky
around
Bobby.
you. That corner was
gonna
built
say-
for you.
I'm going to say for this might seem a little off the wall. If all of the pieces, all of the subordinate commands and units underneath that senior commander, if they all fell into place and obeyed and performed the way their commanding officer wanted them to, I'm going to say in a maneuver and outwitting fight, it's going to be Bobby Lee.
You think it's the guy who time and time again was like, yeah, fucking attack those fortifications. Yeah, do it. He's your maneuver chief, the genius maneuvering behind Pickett's charge?
No, there was no maneuvering in that. They couldn't even freaking march, turn left, turn right, turn left, turn right, and pull that one off correctly.
That's my point.
But in large theater operations, so up to the point of the actual Battle of Gettysburg. Actually, let's back up till the end of the first day. From the beginning of that operation, the campaign itself, to the end of the first day in Gettysburg, the Confederacy they completely smoked anything that the Army of the Potomac could think of. They just completely outmaneuvered them. And that's why
they started fighting at Gettysburg where they wanted to, right?
Well, I still don't think they should have never done that. That's still my opinion.
So the Confederacy wanted to get into a fight at Gettysburg?
No, they did not. And Lee's orders were not to bring on an engagement there.
Then how did they outmaneuver the Union and then wind up in a standing pitched engagement that they would lose?
Well, look right where they were before that fight happened.
I get that. I'm saying it seems like if they were outmaneuvering everyone prior to the start of July 2nd, it seems like at some point in time you outmaneuvered yourself right into your nuts into a bear trap.
Well, that's gonna work no matter what you do. I mean, you could probably pull 1,000 cases of that out just on the East Front alone. Now, use of force and stuff, I got to give it to Uncle Eric. Because I really think he was extremely efficient with his use of force.
Uncle Eric is the superior battlefield commander?
Yeah, I think on the battlefield, and it's kind of hard to error that because that's two totally different.
That's why I said in a period neutral engagement. That's why I specifically worded it that way. Right?
Yeah, that's still a tough one though.
It is. So Big Bad Bobby is your maneuver warfare expert on a strategic and operational level. Right.
He just wasn't I don't think he was as efficient with the force composition as Uncle Eric was.
That makes sense. They were both immensely successful in their military operations.
Well, I think Manstein's most effective was when he kept the Rostov pocket open, so that First Panzer Army could get out of the Caucasus. He's the one that kept that route through Rostov open because they obviously weren't going to go back across the peninsula to the Crimea, at least not with any haste or anything. So he kept that. I think his best fight was keeping that Rostov pocket open so they could pass back through, and then sort of consolidating or rebuilding a force in the game we play, the Manstein's backhand blow was just, that was sheer genius too.
Jeff, I'm just messing with you.
My chains, I know you are.
I am, because despite Robert E. Lee effectively having, military control of the Confederacy, it still just once our good friend Ulysses Sam waltzed on over to Virginia, it was kind of just all over.
Yeah, you brought.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah. Well, and Grant came over. Hey, Joey, how you doing, buddy? When Grant came over, Grant had one strategy.
When?
Keep fighting.
Yeah.
It didn't matter where, what, because Grant knew it. It's amazing that the Union took so long to realize, because it's obvious McClellan never figured it out. But Grant realized, when he finally came to the East, he realized, we got the numbers. Come on. Lincoln wouldn't even let McClellan or anybody else pull the forces defending D.C. but Grant did. And it almost cost them some pain. If Early had a bigger force in the Monocacy the second time around through Maryland, that could have been a catastrophe for the Union Army. But it wasn't.
Fair. I did read an interesting what if that posed a really interesting question about, the Confederacy winning, and that was what if, as opposed to the traditional timeline of like 1890, 3, what if the Martians had actually landed in 1863 and leveled DC? I feel like then the Confederates might have had a chance at winning on a military level.
For those of you that are joining and don't understand this conversation, this is something McMurray and I do on a monthly basis.
Yes, for those of you who are just joining, understand that Jeff is a terrible American. And I'm currently in St. Louis, the longtime home of the winner of the United States Civil War, Ulysses Sam Grant.
Unless he steps into Missouri and then he becomes a neutral stater.
I am in Missouri, also known as, like I said, St. Louis, the longtime home of
remodeling advantages. This comment is a bigger self-publicist than T.E. Lawrence.
What?
Modeling for advantages comment there.
Absolutely. Yes. I'm so happy you brought that up, Kaiser, because that's constantly what I'm making fun of Jeff about. Because honestly, the most danger Manstein ever faced during his life wasn't during the war. It was the sheer odds of him tearing his own arm off, jerking himself off post-war while writing the history of World War II.
You know what's funny is that's the only book that I've ever read that was written by the main actor was it The Lost Victories or whatever, Manstein's. That's the only book written by
Lost Victories, also known as Everyone Else's Fault. I would have won. When?
Yeah, I'm not a big Rommel fan, but although I tell you what, I would have liked to,
only reason
it's all over now, and the course of what certain sides wanted during conflict, was not necessarily the good thing. But I've always been curious about what if Rommel had been given what Rommel wanted in the desert.
In the desert, he might have been successful in the desert, and then he might have got sent to the Eastern Front to get his face kicked in, like every other German high commander that got sent to the Eastern Front. He would have his year on the steppes, his 6 months on the steppes. Then his entire army group would be destroyed, and he'd have to go back to Germany for some self-aggrandizing, a Knight's Cross with clusters, and then an assignment to France or somewhere. He just skipped the Eastern Front, and so everybody thinks he's this god when it's just one of those. No, there was a propaganda value in at least one German general not getting the living crap kicked out of themselves on the steppes.
Well, when it comes to Gettysburg, the thing that I get lost on is while they were maneuvering to the west of the mountains and doing such a wonderful job, Ewell and A.P. Hill performed wonderfully. Ewell just every time he closed on a Union force, he was extremely efficient. And then you get to Gettysburg and it's like, huh.
Are you one of those I hate Longstreet because you was a carpetbagger people?
I'm not big on Longstreet. I don't think I've ever been big on Longstreet.
What?
I won't argue though that his idea of what should have happened in the North was not incorrect.
Okay. I think the issue that the Confederacy ran into at Gettysburg is that ultimately, as soon as anyone sits across the field from Dan Sickles' ultra mass scrotum, they're just automatically gravitationally drawn to it. And that just screwed up their entire battle plan. That's what slowed Longstreet down, getting around the Union left. Not the fact that Robert E. Lee wanted him to march around, an extra 15 miles or whatnot over the course of a day to then attack by, noon.
I am a proponent of what Dan Sickles did at Gettysburg, and I always will be.
Amen, man. My man Dan did nothing wrong. free the reputation of my man Dan.
He saw something that was useful. And when you guys ever get out here and we go to Gettysburg and we get up, well, whenever they open it back up, and we get up on Little Round Top and we get in the Devil's Den area, you're going to see, and of course, when you get out to the peach orchard, you're going to say right away, well, shit, yeah, I'd put cannons out here.
Yeah, this makes a lot of sense. This is a good idea. Yeah, it was. My man Dan is the man. You don't have to, we're preaching to the choir here, Jeffrey.
All right, let's see here. What else have we been missing? So Steve-O was talking about they have a Stonewall Jackson variant in the Most Fearful Sacrifice. And I'm going to tell you all right now, anybody's got that game, if you haven't played that game yet, you're missing. I mean, just play a scenario, because that system is going to be huge.
Huge.
I know I was talking to Herman, and they were talking about Antietam being the next one. And then Herman says since he lives in Knoxville, he was thinking about Chickamauga is just a hop, skip, and a jump for him, which would be great. But the Champion Hill game, Hill of Death, I want to say that's based on the Black Swan system too. Plus, he's got his other system coming out, which McMurray, that'll probably be up your alley, is Shatter Union or something like that, which is supposed to be a real light version, maybe at a brigade level game. So it'd be kind of like the old blue and gray and stuff like that. Let's see. Jackson
just told me dumb,
Gettysburg. Jackson would have been aggressive. And I'm going to agree with Joey on that one. I mean, in the military academies, Jackson's Shenandoah Valley maneuvers in 62, that's like mandatory study. At least it was years ago, at least in some of our NCO academies.
I'm going to say Gettysburg is really inspirational to walk. So is Shiloh. Shiloh is ridiculously well preserved.
Yeah. I lived in Tennessee and I never got there.
I've been to both of them and they were both outstanding.
Operation Saturn, that was the post encirclement campaign. Was that December 42 to February 43 or? Yeah, Grand Take Command just nosedived, right? Yeah, bro, I figured that. I've had a breakthrough here recently, I've had a discovery in my what to play type of games, and I know Todd and I were talking about it.
Naval. Anything with boats.
I don't think West Front is my thing.
What? I thought you loved the West Front.
No.
Coming for the man who made his YouTube debut with Day of Days.
Oh, now, okay, yeah. All right, here we go. All right, there we go. We haven't had this discussion in a while.
Oh, God. Did I just start a fight? I didn't mean to. I honestly, God, was not trying to antagonize you for once.
I'm going to make the statement, and you guys can counteract on it. SCS Day of Days is the best one in the series.
Bastogne. But that's just me.
I don't have a dog in the fight.
Yeah, but Chris still likes Bastogne better.
And we know what.
Apparently, mine was Rostov. Apparently, mine was Rostov 41, but I don't remember that. So I'm going to go with Bastogne.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest.
Sure.
I'm gonna be perfectly honest. Both Bastogne and Normandy are overdone.
That's fair, but Bastogne is a really, really well done game.
No, I'm just talking about the battles in general.
I gotcha. Although I'm not gonna lie to you, I had a lot of fun with some of the scenarios that we played out of It Never Snows as well, Todd.
No, Joey, you did not just say that.
What?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, my man, Joey. We never met. I don't know that I can even recognize your screen name. You are the man. Did we just become best friends? Yup.
E4 Airman
and E4
is right
Airman
up my alley.
Winning as well. I'm so happy that we came on a live stream on Jeff's channel, and now his fans are helping me mess with you.
Here you go, boys. I'm just going to lay it out here. I go with Normandy over Bastogne as a battle
because of Texas.
It's got ships. Yeah, because of BB-35.
Because USS Texas. I can respect that.
And flooding the torpedo, flooding the torpedo bulges so it can get an extra 5 degrees on elevation to chuck more led deeper into France to fuck up more Germans.
You would choose southern France over Bastogne and Normandy just because of the Texas division.
Yes, you would definitely choose Dragoon
Yes.
if that was a thing.
More people need to be doing Dragoon.
There you
That's
go.
all
Chuck's
I'm
on my
saying.
side. Chuck's got me.
Chuck, yeah, it's. I mean, so.
What? Okay. Okay. Time out. I don't know a lot about the East Front, but I know there's the war's biggest tank battle and the war's longest siege. That's it. Oh, and snow.
Mud.
That's East
Yeah, I'm
Front.
about to say, don't forget Mud. Mud played a big part too.
Best one. Best game ever.
Um,
Best SCS game in there.
So my issue that I ran into with Day of Days, which I understand is part of the fighting in that theater, right? Is you have rules for road movement and exploit and all that stuff. It's ridiculously hard to actually do any of it, which, especially when the road move when you're playing the full game, gives you the potential to get, from the far end of Utah to the far end of Sword, essentially.
I think you have to stop at the map.
Oh.
I'm pretty
Well,
sure
that's
that
even more confusing. Because if you jump in a Jeep, you can easily get that far in it. Anyways, my point is, like, they have all those rules in there, and it's such a sticking point for people. Like, I know Kev shits all over it because of that. But the rules are in there, so you're constantly trying to figure out how can I make this work, and it distracts from what you're actually trying to do because it's so hard to make it work. Playing Bastogne, it's there. It's not easy to make it happen, but it's usable. I don't know. Not only that, but Bastogne is a one mapper. It's simple. It's got good counter density.
I will answer Paul's question there. Why everyone loves it. 101st Airborne. Everybody's got a hard on about the 101st Airborne for some damn reason.
The most to me, I think the best part about that is how Germany's pretty much last gasp. They blew through the American lines like they did the Russians in Barbarossa, but of course, granted, it wasn't the size force they had stretched over 1,600 miles, but how the Americans pretty much stomped it all in the ground at a much quicker pace.
Personally, in SCS's Bastogne, and specifically the area around Bastogne, not necessarily the entire bulge, when you get down to the level that SCS takes it at, there's a really interesting diversity in German troop quality and capabilities that I find really interesting in terms of it's not rock, paper, scissors, but it can have the sort of, you got to find the right tool for the job, if that makes sense.
Right.
Which I find really fun and interesting. It's a good, there's an element of traffic control as the Germans, because you got to stay on roads to a certain extent, but it's not overwhelming like it is in some games that I've played.
Right.
And even for the Americans, there's a chunk of that. Okay, what do I have and where can I, okay, so I've got airborne. They're not very good at attacking stuff, but good luck getting them out of somewhere. Okay, so I know where I can use those, but I have armor also. Like, for me, it's a fun, and I mean, I'm not saying that playing any Bastogne game is going to be fun. I think SCS did Bastogne quite well, and it's a balanced all-around really fun game where it's not too heavy on any one thing, but it's got chunks of everything in it, except for supply. Sorry, guys. If that's what you really enjoy doing, that's perfectly fine. But counting supply out isn't necessarily my number one priority, and I don't mind tracing supply. But I don't know. I enjoyed it. With SCS, I drastically prefer exploit capable units to using the reserve marker system. Does that make any sense? Like, Jeff, Todd, are you guys picking up what I'm putting down there in terms of it's almost a new versus old SCS argument? because reserve markers used to be all the stuff, and now they've kind of substituted exploit capable units for that.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, and they had
I
well,
haven't used
what was
reserve a
the
bunch.
World War One game? You and I both played at McMurray.
Drive on Paris. No, not Drive on Paris. Rock of the Monarch.
Yeah, where they had the exploit capable. I mean, like this. So,
Rock of the Marne, I had a lot of fun with as well.
right.
Hey.
Brian.
Why do you like Day of Day so much, Jeff? I'm not sure I remember. Why do you like that one so much over all of them?
Well, okay, so if you have all your SCS games in front of you and you take the maps out of all of them, what's the first thing you notice?
I mean, the size.
From day,
Day of Days.
yeah, I can't, but I mean the maps from Day of Days to all the rest of the SCS games.
Yeah, just a little bit more colorful.
Yeah. I really think these aren't Rick Barber maps, but I think they're gorgeous. And I think what I really like about it is all right. So I like the monster games. So if I took all my monster games, set them on the table, and I said, play one. All right, you got to play one that is going to have some realism. Well, to the best you can get. You never get all of it anyhow. But you're not going to browbeat yourself over the rules. Day of Days is that game.
It is. That is fair.
Yeah.
It is a big game that's got the rules that are not too bad.
And I was playing Killing Ground, and I took it down because Killing Ground, I love it, and I think everybody's right about that game, that it's a work of art to an extent. But I think I chose the wrong scenario. I don't want to play a slog fest because I chose Goodwood, and that was just a bad choice.
Todd or Chuck, give the Western Front props for messed up operations. It's fair. I was going to say, so I agree with you that Day of Days is a really good looking map, but at least for me, when I was trying to play it, between how small the hexes and the counters are, like it gets really crowded.
Right.
And how good looking that map was, and the detail that's on that map with the bocage and the heavy bocage and everything else, it almost, at least for me, made it more difficult, right? Just because that map got really busy, and when it got really cramped, it really started giving me trouble with some stuff. But it is an outstandingly pretty map. That and It Never Snows are both really good looking maps.
Right. Hey, Kim, how's the weather in Black Hawk County, brother? He's hovering on Facebook there. Hey, Kim Minds, he runs a lot of the groups on Facebook, like a lot of the MMP and the War Gamer. I think he runs a bunch of those channels on Facebook. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Rostov was good. I thought, okay, so Battle of the Bulge games. Since there are, there's always 5 million Normandy games. There's always 5 million Bastogne games. There's 5 million Waterloo games, and there's like 4 or 5. There's 5 million Gettysburg games. But of the Bulge games now, so my favorite of all time is the old SPI Vach Dam Rhein, not the new Decision Games one. Oh, that's a nice game, but the SCS Ardennes game I thought was just outrageously good, and that's an older title in that system.
See, but they leaked that new hex map for Ardennes, and we're teasing that it might come out in the next couple of years. And I'm really hoping that they'll make that rule change again from reserve markers to exploit, like they did with Africa. I would shit a chicken. I'd be so happy about that. I'll be the first one in line for a pre-order, man.
Okay, so
yeah, I'll get that Ardennes game because you guys had fun with it, but I'm not going to look for an old copy. I'll just wait for the new one to come out.
Right. I'm sure I'll pre-order it too.
So my favorite one would be
go, Todd.
My favorite one would be Bastogne, just because it's. I tried last Blitzkrieg from BCS, and I'm not into the system yet. I have yet to play Ardennes 44, and so I got to go with Bastogne right now as my favorite.
So I was just thinking about this.
Answer PB's question. Y'all talk. I got to use the little boys' room.
Ocean
Best naval
Thunder.
game, any era.
Ocean Thunder.
Well, okay. Are we talking about board games?
Board games. I have
Naval
no
Thunder.
I really enjoyed.
Shut up, Todd.
Um,
Well, I mean,
I'm gonna give
I
you
just get more
two,
experience.
Polly. I really enjoyed. Like I said, dude. I don't know if it's just a passing fad. I don't think it is because I played it a few times, put it away, brought it back out, played it more. War at Sea is super fun. I like the mechanics. The system is a fun one. It's on the unique side. You don't see it very often. It's kind of a cool mix between hex and counter, but it's got like a miniatures type feel to it. It's I'm going to shoot at that thing. But then also the line that's the kind of lineage of rules that started with wooden ships, Iron Men, and then went into flying colors, as people say that's an updated version of it, whether it actually through a line of ownership is or not, is also outstanding. If I had to choose one that I'm just going to sit down and play, it's probably be War at Sea. It's a little simpler than Flying Colors, but I really enjoy Flying Colors. And now I'm trying to crane my head over at my shelves and see what's over there. Hang on. Miniatures,
I don't
that's a long talk.
Board game.
I don't have enough experience with board games, Paul, and in fact, no experience with naval war games in board games.
Ditto.
One Jay, not Jay and I were talking about were miniature rules. So
The
I haven't tried Bitter Woods yet, so
as far as board games go, the few the little experience I've had with
Also, while I was over there, I meant to ask you guys, does anybody want to buy like $230 worth of 28 millimeter World War II and Ancients? I'm kidding. We're still sore about that. I want to play Jump so bad, E4 Airman.
hey,
So Flying Colors. I enjoyed Flying Colors. I have not played any of the Fleet series games, Paul. That looks interesting.
yeah, people love those series.
yeah, the fleet. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Lock and Load is coming out with a new board game that's basically Battle of the North Atlantic, Cold War style. So that's going to be interesting. It ties into their World at War 85 universe. And they're also coming out with a aircraft game. So with World at War 85 ground combat, the naval game, and the air game, we'll be able to use all three Lock and Load games to play Red Storm Rising. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to answer Joey because I haven't shot a video yet on it. Solo air, and I'll do this too, also in some of the OCS stuff. So you got to figure that air missions might get scrapped, or air missions might be. And we're talking World War II. That air missions might be sent to a location that really there was nothing there to hit. I'm sure this happened, or missions straight off course or something. So what I'll do is if now granted with the interdiction, since the Germans are the only ones that can do that in EFS, is I will I'll search for those headquarters, because that's really, the interdiction can affect a lot of stuff, but it has its biggest effect on Soviet headquarters units. But what I'll do when it comes to since they narrowed the field to either interdiction or close air, what I'll do is if I've got an attack going in order to give it some mission fog of war, if I have a lot of aircraft, what I may do is I'll roll a dice and I'll say, okay, are the Germans going to fly close air on this combat to help this attack out? And I'll say, it's simple. I'll say odd or even. And since you can have up to three separate sorties fly in the same hex mission, I might roll a second dice to determine whether I'm flying 1, 2, or 3 in there. And then what I'll do is I'll flip it to the other side and say, all right, did the Russians, did they happen to sign an interdiction of fighters into that area? And I'll do the same thing on their side. I'll roll even or odd and decide whether or not they countered it, which also comes in good if I decide I want to fly Soviets for close air support. if they didn't fly and I have units left when it flips over to the Soviet side, then those units, then I'll repeat the same process as the Soviets, fly in close air support. So that's the only way I can do it. Where I think it's yeah, it's not perfect, but you gotta assume that air missions went astray. Hell, I imagine they even still do today too. So that's how I supplement that in my gameplay.
Chuck, I haven't played Trireme, but that's another one that is on the radar that I would really like to play. It's not necessarily an era I get to very often, but it's certainly, I know it's got the reputation behind it as a very, very good game, as well as Great War at Sea. I want to give those a whack. It would be pretty fun.
Hey, how many games were in that Fleet series? Was there like
a bunch?
4 or 5.
And Murray, when's the last time you played Flying Colors and Serpent of the Seas? Is that it?
Flying Colors. I played a couple games for John at Joy of Wargaming during his Black Powder campaign when he had a couple of naval games that he was questioning results of. So it's probably been 5-6 months maybe. Or I think it was very end of last year. It was right before I put Ardennes up. So it would have been last November, December.
Right. Okay, here we go. Here's a question. Biggest footprint game or tabletop, and when I say tabletop, I'm going to mean the dimensions of the board that had terrain that you played on. Or in Todd and I's case, well, my case, definitely Hex Encounter. Todd can go either way. But what's the biggest footprint game? And you guys out there in the crowd, I want to hear it from you all too. What's the biggest footprint game that you had set up and playing at one time?
That we ran or that I've played in?
Played in.
Okay, so I played in a World War II game. This is actually a really interesting one because this is what sparked my entire war gaming, what introduced me to wargaming. But when I was a kid, I think I was in 7th grade, maybe something like that, at the local public library over the summer, they used to have, youth activities, right? And one of them was every year there was a guy, and the St. Louis area is not that big, but I have not been able to find this guy or his war game ever since. And a guy ran a World War II game somewhere on the Western Front because it was Germans and French. So actually, I'm sorry, somewhere early war, Western Front. So it was the Germans and the French. And the rules are almost all lost to my brain in terms of, I remember that it was cool because the Germans could move and shoot because they had radios in their tanks and the French couldn't, and little stuff like that. But that was such an impact on my brain as a kid. And that was 6 foot by 2.5 foot tables. So it would have been 6 foot across by, it was the length of a full room, a big room in a library, probably 20, 30 feet. It was huge.
What battle was it?
Massive.
What battle?
No idea. I think it was just a game. You put it on 2 years that I can think of that I was able to see it and attend. I don't think it necessarily was a specific battle, to be honest with you. It was put on for kids at a library.
And did the kids really did they dig it? Do you remember?
Yeah. Absolutely. I remember the first year that I went to it, my grandma convinced me to go. She's like, you'll probably have fun with that. You guys always take vacations and go to Civil War stuff. It's not the exact same, but you probably have fun with it. And then the second year I went to it, it was just far larger, lots more kids. It was outstanding. But that was probably one of the biggest games I played in. Since then, I played in games that were probably 6 foot by, I routinely play on a 6 by 12 table at one of my buddies' houses. But especially at larger day events, there's certainly larger ones than that. So we'll call it 6x20. It's probably a conservative estimate for the size of those games.
How about you, Toddley?
It would have been that. Well, there was that Arnhem game that I played at Command Decision at Jerry's house. That was 6x10 board.
Yeah, when Tim clears his full table off, that's 6x12 as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, it might have been 12 foot. That was huge. But the biggest paper map game I played is Battle for Normandy right before I moved.
I was about to say, I've played a 2-mapper, Jeff. Quit making fun of me.
Well, you, Jeff? Or well, actually, what Chris have to say?
Yeah, Chris.
Board game. I've not done any big board games. Probably my biggest board game was Normandy 44. Because
You've got one though that's big. You've got.
Oh, I've got one.
Yeah,
I've got a big one. I've got.
That's what I've heard.
I do have Montelamar, which is 5 maps when it's all laid out. It's gargantuan. The biggest game that I've actually played in, well, I actually ran it, was an 8-foot by 8-foot naval game, Ocean Thunder, my game. Back in the mid-90s, I had built 2 18-inch tall stage risers.
right.
That were just 2 sheets of 3/4-inch plywood on a frame that was 18 inches tall. Laid my ceiling tiles or my painted light tiles down, and it got to the point where the last 2 players that had ships floating, they just crawled up onto the center of the table and sat there, moving their ships.
Right.
And then I have seen one that took up the entire choir room at Lee Summit High School. It was 28 millimeter pirate ships.
Fistful of Seamen?
Yes, Fistful of Seamen.
I was about to say, I take that back. I saw that played once. I was not intelligent enough to get a seat.
It let's see, it had 3 tables running this way,
Running parallel, yeah.
parallel, and a 4th table that basically ran 2 edges of the wall of the room.
Wow.
And each table was...
If you Google carefully, make sure you have the A's in Fistful of Seamen,
Yes,
like sailors, men of the sea.
correct.
You can find, they've got a really great website. Well, they used to, at least. I hope they still are paying domain fees for it.
Hey, all viewers, don't do that. It's a trap.
No, it's legitimately one of the most impressive 28 millimeter pirate games I've ever seen. But
Here.
yeah, maybe Chris can find a
It's
link.
it's Fistful of Seamen, SEAMAN.blogspot.com.
Come on.
There is an A in that last word. Men of the sea.
Gee,
No, it's SEAMEN.
Yeah, but seaman is one word. So
Right.
There's an A in that last word.
Correct.
But yes,
Not fooling me, boys.
very, very impressive. One of these days, Chris, I was about to say, I've seen pictures of, and I think at a Command Con or DieCon or something over in Collinsville. I don't know what it was. I'm sure it was run by one of the big muddy guys, Todd. But there was a 28 millimeter game where they were using those little mobile, like, computer stands. They look like bar tall tables. And they each had a 28 millimeter ship on them. And they took up like a quarter of a big convention center room. That was pretty awesome. But again, I did not get to play in that. And that wasn't necessarily a table. You know what I mean?
You can also go to Recruits website, the Recruits Gaming Convention, and look at their historical photo libraries, photo galleries, and see the games in there.
Yeah, the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I like looking at some of the old SPI guys when they set up like War in Europe, the War in the East and War in the West system. There's a link for LBW Steve's store up in the Dakota Territory.
Oh, nice. Do it.
I'm hoping to be up there, Steve, the second week of August.
So if y'all want to, Steve dabbles in a little bit of everything from tabletop, painting, board games. He's just, he's your local gaming store. I mean, he does ship stuff, so check him out. His prices are very, very decent. All right, give him a look. For me, mine would have to be just quite a few monster four mappers, like the original SPI of Octum Rhine, any format, because most of my tables are usually, well, like this table's 5x6. And I used to I remember setting up Terrible Swift Sword and Octum Rhine. I had a couple other ones. And that would be the biggest thing I've played. I'm struggling right now with it. Never fails. You set one of these games up and you set the map up so that, okay, you're going to be pushing stuff from one edge of your table. Next thing you know, you're in the middle of the damn map fighting, and you got to be careful if you're wearing a t-shirt when you lean across the table to move pieces that are in the middle, because you'll probably wipe something out on the edge. So I play a lot in my Speedos and no shirt on, just so I keep from doing that.
Also, be careful not to play games during allergy season.
You don't want to sneeze.
It jacked me up on Ardennes last December. I'm punching and clipping 9 Navy's War from Decision Games, Steve, to answer your question.
Let's see. I saw something in here I wanted to address here. Hold on.
It's almost done, actually.
All right. So Dave 1013. Yeah, it's the GBACW. We were talking about it earlier, Peter. That is my ACW is my thing. That's like I said, I live here in the Shenandoah Valley, so that's my preferred go-to. And then behind that would be World War II. But GBACW, I think, is just, and like I said, I have not played Line of Battle yet. I'm gonna say it again. I'll get to it. I got them all, just haven't played it. But GBACW is definitely my go-to for large-scale Civil War stuff. And there's so many and there's still so many more games out there that have not. Nobody's like I've always. Rich Champion sent me a game on. He sent me a few games that were on Chickamauga. I got one on Chattanooga, which always struck me as odd that there was no monster game on Chattanooga. And I got one of those now. I think there's a second one out there somewhere. Some older titles and stuff. Anybody remember Avalon Hills, all the different generations of Gettysburg? Well, of all those games, the Gettysburg 77 one, I love. The map is just gorgeous in that game. But I hear that playing the advanced rules on that is like freaking pulling teeth. So I've never tried that one. But GBACW, yeah, it's I love the command structure in it. I love the gameplay in it. And once it's funny because once you start playing the system, if you play a couple games, you realize the system is not that detailed. But you'll notice that every game you play, there's, and I'm sure we all do it, there's the subtle little things in the rules that you miss. Like maybe a certain type of unit can't move in a certain place, or a certain type of unit doesn't have a zone of control. Oh, if this unit has to retreat through a marsh, this has to happen. And it only applies to just one, specific type of unit. You might miss those things. Now, for those of you that like super duper 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 detail, Joey plays the shit out of games that are like that. And LBW here, who's popped on here recently, you get over to his channel and he's playing Goss and he's playing Atlantic Wall. And Steve, if my guess is right, you're just now getting to the end of the beach landings. I think he shot 9 videos and he's just getting to the end of the beach landings.
Jesus.
So
Christ.
he's doing it in Vassal, and he's explaining he's explaining certain aspects of the game by using the Vassal sort of click through to show you what's going on. And Joey here recently which I'm just tickled to see because I didn't know Joey till I came back to gaming, and I know I hear the stories about his instructional stuff. He's starting to post on Facebook now with pictures with some little. He just did one about freaking Hurtgens Forest. He just posted the other day about replacement units and how he assigned them. And I just looked at. I didn't have to read the damn thing. I just looked at the picture. And I said, "Son of a bitch!" I bet he's the first one to think of that shit. And so he got some really good details there to watch that. So check some of these guys out. Check out OBW and his Goss playthrough. And Clay Steelstone. He's got.
Did he just hop on?
Huh?
Did he just hop on? I haven't seen him on here.
No, I haven't seen him, but he's playing well, him and Steve are playing Vocht am Rhein, which I think they always play it. And I think Clay is also playing Atlantic Wall with a big group. Steve, are you part of that big group for Atlantic Wall with him? Yeah, but these guys there's some good stuff out there. There's a lot of people that, there's a lot of little hidden gems out there that you got to dig and find. These guys playing it. So yeah, check out Steve's channel and catch Joey on Facebook posting some of his stuff. So, and old Chucky Charles has been, he was one of my first subs.
Chuck's been running wild, man. Chuck is real.
Crazy. He shoots short little videos. Not a whole lot of chit chat on them, but he plays more. I thought I played a lot of games. Chuck is all over the damn table.
Dog, Chuck is getting it done. Not only that, but Chuck's putting down so many miniatures right now. He makes Warmutt and I look like goobers.
Right.
Well, because you are.
And he does a bunch of different stuff. He doesn't just mess around with one thing. He'll put some games on the table. I'm like, well, first off, my first question is, where in the fuck did you find that game? And he's always got something different. A lot of them out there. All right, I'm giving away Case Blue tonight. Who wants it?
Oh, I'll take it. Didn't I send you Case Blue? Isn't that one of the Europa games?
No. Oh, yeah. Speaking of no, Rich. Yeah, you sent me France and
I sent you 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah, I think there were 3 of them. Rich had sent me all the. I got the whole freaking series. So, matter of fact, I've got 3 or 4 of them out there unpunched. Of course, Hexion. The minute I get a game, its counters are coming out and they're getting clipped.
That's what I'm doing right now, baby.
Whether I play it or not. Yeah, show them what you're punching there.
Did my camera move? Hang on. I've had the chat up. You can still see what I'm
doing.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I was watching. Oh, you're killing me, not Jay. Killing me.
Hey, buy me a pair and send them to me.
Oh, yeah. Also, Paulie, send me your address again. I got a Royal Australian Navy to send you.
The whole Royal Australian Navy.
Well, not all the Corvettes and the tenders and stuff, but the combat units.
Yeah, the important ones.
But yeah.
Yeah.
We'll
What is the what's Chuck's link?
I think it's Charles Latora, isn't it?
There you go.
Search Charles Latora on.
That was Steve's channel I just sent.
Okay.
Let
I
me
think Chuck's is just if you just look up Charles Latora, that'll pop up. Although you might catch a couple of Joy Wargaming's videos because Chuck is such an awesome dude that he comments and contributes so much there that in this last campaign, one of the 2 main leaders was named the Latora Khan.
And there's Chuck's. I don't know. I thought mine has. I went through that thing where you can tag your YouTube site now with your name, but I never figured out how to use the damn thing. So there's both of those. There's LBW Steve's and there's Chuck's.
One thing I will say, these counters are traditional size counters. The counters, in Avalon Hills War at Sea are colossal, and that was kind of nice. Like they're full inch by inch counters. They're giant. But whatever, such is life.
Hey, Steve, did they fix a bunch of the stuff I remember you all talking about in that Vocht am Rhein module?
Well,
because somebody finally redid it. Oh, he's on the first 6 sub phases of the landings.
So have they figured out that they're going on the 6th yet?
No, that's Steve doing that by himself.
Yeah, so that's my point. Steve, have your Goss figured out they're going on the 6th, not the 5th yet? I don't know where the sub phases start and end, but that seems like one of those things that might be it.
Airman, I think those are the Chickamauga and the Chattanooga ones that I got. I think Rich sent me one, and then he pointed me to a link online. I bought it I got 2 games off of a guy on eBay for like $30. I think I got lucky.
Oh, by the way, Jeff,
Uh-huh.
the answer to your question from way back on how many of the Fleet Series games there are, 5.
5 of them? Okay. PB gave a good detail about 7th. About all the countries that were in it.
Yep.
Speaking of YouTube channels that are underrated, go check out Paul's channel.
Absolutely.
Yeah, PB got some good stuff over there.
Let's get some love out there.
You got the speakers up because Paul's a soft-spoken individual on the YouTubes, but that's okay. You got to let the smooth rolling Australian tones just lull you to paradise, baby.
What you want to do is go grab yourself a
Foster's
and
kangaroo
toast covered in Vegemite and just kind of chill.
Yeah.
Each game turn has 3 sub phases in the beach landings. And Steve-O, my first blow through with Goss was Hurtgens Forest. Other than being on with Steve and Clay when they were playing Bach am Rhein, and I had to pack it in too. I think when I go to play, and I will go back to it, when I go to play Goss again, it's going to have to be the only thing sitting on my table. Todd, I see what you're painting, but what's all that other little stuff there? Those your Frenchies that you needed to put skin or something on?
Frenchies all have skin. Now I just got to make some little details on them, and they'll be in basin.
Are those those are your French though, aren't they?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well,
they didn't take a long time.
What the hell is that thing?
It's a draconian. A friend asked me if I could paint it for him, so I went and bought some white primer at Miniature Market, and because I needed white. You can't use gray on this stuff. It doesn't do the right thing. It doesn't do what it's supposed to do. You know.
Okay.
The speed paint. You really have to use a white primer. So I just found some primer they had because I had to brush it because it's a million degrees in St. Louis and the humidity is ridiculous. So you cannot spray, and I don't spray inside like someone I know.
Well, yeah. Well, it explains it. It answers a lot of questions I have about that person. Steve,
Huh?
I hear you, Steve. Hey, Joey and I tried to play twice, and I am just terrible for some. And I've been trying again. I was trying with Army Group North playing a scenario because I know Kev at Big Board. He wants to get me back playing one of those things. But I don't know. It's so hard for me to look at that damn. I don't mind watching because I can learn from watching you guys play.
I'd eat an emu, Paul.
And Vegemite chips.
I don't know about Vegemite chips, but I'd eat the shit out of an emu, man. It's got to just be like giant chicken, right?
All right,
Hey, you guys
More like beef.
Table check. All you out there in the comments, what's on the table right now? Other than your hands on the keyboard, what's on your game table right now?
Hey, I'm liking how this is coming out, man.
This and Salerno 43.
You're looking at it.
Speed paints, Todd?
Yeah, Army Painter speed paint. I used it on a gray primer, not good. I'm using it with this white primer. It looks awesome.
I've heard white or black on the. I heard you use it on.
Can't use black.
What's that when you spray on top?
Zenithal.
Yeah, I hear you do that properly and then speed paint. I hear that stuff looks awesome.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because the heavy Zenithal is just you're going to get black to dark in the extreme recesses, depending on how heavy your Zenithal prime is. Like some people Zenithal to the point where it's basically a white prime, but then the extreme underhangs are black. Some people will also do it on top of the gray. But yeah, anyhow.
PB, you're not playing anything or painting anything? Dave, that's a good game. South Mountain. I played that one a long time ago.
It's the bitter depths of winter in Australia right now, Jeff.
What does that mean? It's like 78, 80 degrees?
I don't know. But
He's probably just trying to get better.
Paul's busy
Yeah,
tuning
yeah,
up
yeah.
his bionic arm.
Or chasing bad guys down.
Little bit of
Da-da-da,
Pursuit of the Graph Spee. There you go.
What?
Hey, did you guys
Hello?
see? You guys see Storm of Steel's video? He got the emu battle, the war from 66 wargaming, 2D6 wargaming.
Oh yeah, I
The
brought those miniatures down. I need to paint them for Paulie.
Did you get those from 2D6?
No, I have 28s.
Oh, okay.
I 3D printed emus and ostriches and shit in 28.
Walkabout Games has joined us.
Oh
Hey,
man, we
Chris
have more
Long, eh?
Canadians here.
Joey, I
Oh,
thought
yeah,
you lived in California. I didn't know you lived in Arizona.
Should go.
What part of Arizona?
Yeah, you should go tell
Yeah, go-
Warmutt to quit being a chump.
Go hunt down Warmut. Hey, Joey, go teach Warmut how to play like Goss or something.
God, just make
But-
sure
but-
you're just.
but have
keeping
911
baby
on-
aspirin.
Just bring an
keep
ambulance
taking
with you.
baby aspirin while you do it.
Yeah,
That-
just
have
take the
911
defibrillator.
Insta dial.
Yeah,
Alright.
good call, Chucky. But yeah, so in order to find mini Warmutt, my recommendation would be to get into, your Arizona attorney generals like LLC, publicly requestable stuff, and just look for ice cream and tacos landscaping,
Right?
and that should get you directly to his house.
Or just hang out at any Dairy Queen or Taco Bell
in the greater Phoenix area. And you'll see him.
That's
We love you,
terrible.
Warmutt.
You know he's listening because we've been Facebook messaging the whole time.
Yeah, we're about to get. You guys in the audience here about to hear a gajillion dings as our messengers all simultaneously go off because Warmutt is furious.
He's
He didn't
never
have
mad at
tacos
us.
today.
The hell he didn't.
I had nachos.
The nachos.
They said nacho cheese. Thank you, Brian.
All right, gents, we've been rolling this thing just over 2 hours. This we really got to do this more often because this is
Yeah, we do.
this
Doug,
is,
our audience participation is through the roof. Damn.
oh, yeah.
Oh, it's always like this on our.
Let me put
when
one
we're all
last
together.
banner up. One last banner.
Although, hold on, I didn't get to explain to you guys my favorite Bastogne game.
Go ahead.
If it's Bastogne itself, it's Bastogne. If it's Bulge overall, it's legitimately a toss-up between that, what is it, Conflict Games thing you sent me, Jeff?
What did I send you?
The one that, it's that tiny game, it's the ones that weren't in boxes, that were in a box that was labeled Terrible Swift Sword. You sent me that, and then Kasserine Pass.
Oh yeah,
The ones that Rich sent me that were the little small one mappers.
yeah.
Oh,
Overlord.
it's probably, that was Overlord. I'm a dum-dum. It's probably, Avalon Hill's Battle of the Bulge was a delight, and I just blew through it. It was super fun. It had a historical ending. But yeah. Anyways, sorry guys.
Well, I'm glad y'all appreciate it. Steve, thanks for all. I'm not gonna go through the list. All y'all that popped on here tonight, that's awesome. We've got Nache does his regular show on Wednesday night. It's starting to build up some steam over there. Nache's busted over 200, and we're trying to get him to 300 before the year ends. And he's gonna get some stuff away. I'd love to do something regular, but shit. I can barely remember my name each morning when I get up and go to work. So, but I'd love to do
Good
something.
thing it's
regular.
in your underwear.
Yeah. Plus, it's summertime, so it's all majority of me playing golf, and McMurray works late at nights, and Todd's got a new thing going. Yeah, Todd, come on, tell him about what your new project is at work.
I can't. I really can't talk about it.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, we won't discuss it, but he's working on something.
Todd has
new.
a job at work. Todd got a new job where all he does is inspect pictures of. We just all of a sudden went straight into not safe for work. Todd pets kittens and eats Skittles and drinks beer Ork now.
Shit, if I could get paid
Draconian.
$85,000 a year to do that, sign me up.
Chris, if I could get paid $4 a year to eat Skittles for a job, I'd do it.
I joined the FBI, female body inspectors.
Yeah. But Todd's a content approver for members only.
All right, you guys get over and check out Wardrobe Plays World War II. Get over and check
Do it.
out Not Jay's Tabletop Gaming. And get over and check out Hex. Oh, wait a minute. You're already there. All right. Check out LBW Steve's site. Get some golf stuff going on. And you can catch Warmutt. Yeah, don't forget Brian Mini Warmutt. He's got, man, his
And Charles Latora and Pete Beckus.
Chucky,
and
TB. Yeah. Everybody
the
out there.
McMurray Tabletop channel.
So check all these guys out. Appreciate everybody popping in here tonight. Well, like I say, next time I'll try to plan it ahead. But like I say, all four of us right now, it's so random. You know, it's just easier for us just to start something up and get after it. So who knows? Maybe we'll do it again here soon. Maybe we'll do it up on Todd's channel here, or maybe we'll get Chris to throw one up here in the near future. Have a great evening. Thanks, guys. It was a blast.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye, everybody.